Hello, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe 2 in Love. Collision was fun and down to the point as once again the Continental Classic continues. Fun stuff in the Blue League. Bryan versus Andrade. Claudio versus Eddie Kingston. Some good stuff in the Continental Classic. Bryan is obviously trying to level things out since he missed the first week of the Continental Classic, but it was fun. Collision, nothing too big, just really vibing around the tournament. Good stuff. Little development Andrade. There's been some speculation about his contract and where he may wind up, but nonetheless, a teaser as to what his feud after the Continental Classic may be with Miro, which would be fun. But, yeah, there's that. We had a very good match with Kenny Omega and Ethan Page. Primarily because it was in Canada. They were still in Canada, but fun show. Nothing too big. So, let's go over, shall we? Subscription box there in the corner. Subscribe if you want to. So, Collision started off with Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli. Started off hot and heavy with in a big way. So, this is the trilogy match for this year between these two because Claudio won at Supercard. Eddie won at Grand Slam. And so this is the trilogy between these two. Was good. Nothing too big about this match, but good stuff. Eddie started off fast, landed some shots on Claudio. Obviously, these two don't like each other very much. But both had their flurries of offense. Claudio landed the giant swing, falling to a sharpshooter, but Eddie got to the ropes. Eddie landed a big uppercut or a lariat back and forth with strikes, but Claudio wound up with a big uppercut for two. Back at it with some strikes. So Eddie went for a back fist, but all of a sudden, it looked like, Claudio was going for an uppercut, but Eddie countered to another back fist, knocked Claudio down for a near fall. So, homage to their first match at Supercard. So, Eddie went for a powerbomb. Claudio countered, went for a roll-up, but Kingston countered a high stack 1, 2, 3, and Eddie Kingston gets his first victory in the Continental Classic. Claudio has 3 points. Now Eddie has 3. So good stuff here. John Moxley talked about taking best of everyone in the tournament. Talked about Roosh. Talked about just been talking, but he's was prepared for Roosh and he's prepared for Swerve come Texas and Dynamite. Hook. He was backstage, confronted by Willow Yuta. One of the underlining feuds the last number of weeks, which really kind of started when Okada was teaming with Orange Cassidy in that match versus Bryan and Claudio. And that whole finish interrupted by the injury of Bryan. And then all that kind of circulated. So, and then since then, these two hasn't been going on much, but talked about it as a potential match. And could be a good one for Hook. Good development match to help improve him. Because we know he's still very young and still very green. So, he was there with the Ring of Honor Pure title. And Hook kind of took a shot at Yuta saying he won it by kicking Shibata in the balls. So, saying nonetheless he has it. And that he's tired of shenanigans of Hook. And that why don't we do this once and for all, saying let's do it for the FTW title and under FTW rules. Hook said, yeah, bet. So, Hook versus Willow Yuta down the line. Good little match there. Whether for Dynamite or for Collision, I like it. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Martinez. So, rough but decent match here. So, these two obviously have big history towards the end of, the feud for the Ring of Honor Women's title involving Deonna Purrazzo. Match was decent, although Willow took a big bump on the outside. She landed hard near the announce table. So, yeah. Anyway, so at the end, so Willow was on the top rope and Mercedes went for a razor's edge of sorts, but instead she flipped her over for a press. So there you go, and Mercedes went for the cover, but in a shock fashion, Willow rolled up Mercedes for the win. So there you go. Willow gets the shocked victory. Diamante was at ringside for Mercedes. Chris Statlander saved Willow. What? Well, at least Chris is no longer on Rampage. She's on Collision now. I mean, we'll see how things go. It's looking weird. Chris, I mentioned on my previous episode, going from losing the Tita's title at Full Gear to now kind of feels like she's not doing much of substance. It's very lacking, especially with the women's division. Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Jake Hager. So Menard and Parker are Canadians. So they got a match in front of their hometown crowd tonight versus against Penta and Kommander. So wonder about Phoenix, if he's still injured or what is going on. So anyway, so they were backstage with Jake Hager. Hager was irate about Danhausen's usage of his hat that he loves, his bucket. So he ran off. Uso got in the picture after Menard and Parker were talking about the stories of being up in stands, and now they're wrestling in front of their hometown crowd. Ruby was there smirking up with Cool and Angelo Parker. And Menard and Soraya were arguing back and forth about this whole dynamic between Soho and Angelo. And anyway, we got broken up. So Soraya's frustrated. She was there with Anna J. I mean, Anna J should have already been there. She's with, Menard and Parker and this whole former of JS. So she felt like she was getting betrayed by Soho. So she said she got to prove it to her next week on Dynamite versus Riho. So there's a match there. Move on. Kenny Omega and Ethan Page. So not sure if it was Dynamite or last week, but either way, Ethan Page called out Kenny Omega for a match, find out the best wrestler from Canada. So, good match. We know Ethan Page can bring it. Sucks though because he's been on Ring of Honor a lot more than AEW. So, but this is a good match as you expect. So, Page went for a big cutter from the outside to the end, getting Omega in the ring. They were fighting on the outside. Omega hit a moonsault off the barricade to Page on the mat outside. Page back in the ring, half the break, landed some offense. Big DT for a near fall. They were on top rope. Page hit a beautiful front power slam off the top for a near fall. Back and forth, they were changing strikes. Page hit a big boot, but only for a near fall. Omega finally followed up. He got cut near his mouth, but landed not one but two V triggers. Landed the one-winged angel on Page and no one kicks out of Omega's one-winged angel. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega wins a solid match versus Page on Collision. Afterwards, Big Bill assaulted Kenny Omega on the stage to the light of boos and posed with one half of the tag team titles. So, excuse me. So, the way it seems, yeah, Kenny Omega, the Golden Jets, him and Jericho versus Big Bill and Ricky Starks, eventually the tag titles, won't be at Winter's Coming, probably at World's End, since that's on the 30th. We'll see, because there was that video of Jericho getting assaulted at Full Gear, so we'll see. CJ Perry backstage talked about her client Andrade, as basically said he will beat Bryan Danielson tonight in the main event, which was a flurry and a war, pretty much. So, eventually, Miro dropped in and basically had an argument back and forth, talking about, well, Miro told her to stay home. CJ said, well, Miro, you denounced me. Talking about his ancestors, when his father would fight, his mother would be there to clean. Same for when they're at home. When he goes out there for hunting, she's there at home to do dishes, basically. So, after Miro said he won't bother his client during the tournament, but said afterwards he's finished. We got Penta and Kommander versus Menard and Angelo Parker. Again, the match in front of their hometown crowd, they got good reception. Pretty pissed, or pretty annoyed that they were out there in front of their hometown crowd only to lose. I know I'm a broken record when saying this for the last number of weeks. It's annoying because I feel like they could do much more with Menard and Parker. They could be serious contenders in tag team division. Trio styles with, say, Garcia or Hager. But with the JS disbanded, they're only getting worse, kind of feels. Anyway, the loss here. Fear Factor by Kommander and Penta. 1, 2, 3. Okay. There we go. I missed it, but somewhere in here, this show. Wardlow versus Willie Mack. Simple. Wardlow, impressive with his strength. We know Willie Mack is a big guy. Powerbomb Symphony by Wardlow. Hit basically the last ride on the Willie Mack, which basically finished him. So, there you go. Main event, Bryan Danielson versus Andrade El Idolo. We know the orbital injury with Bryan. So, how would that factor in this? Well, not sure, but bloody and brutal. So, back and forth. Andrade targeted the knee and also targeted the eye of Bryan. So, was a figure four, but Bryan countered with a missile dropkick. Rolled for near fall. Rough shot, both went for clotheslines, but both landed for a double down. Suplex by Andrade into a three amigos, but for near fall. He landed his big back elbow. So, they're on the ropes. And Andrade took off the eye patch, the wear of Bryan. Excuse me. So he took off the eye patch and basically gouged the eye of Bryan, the injured eye. So, again, back and forth, land the running knees in the corner to the back of Bryan's head. Safely because, the orbital injury. And then land the hammerlock DT. Beautiful 1, 2, 3. Andrade has 6 points. So, as it stands, they show it in the Blue League. Andrade has 6 points. Brody King has 6 points. Bryan has 6 points. Eddie has 3. Claudio has 3. And Garcia, even though he's lost, still has 0. Still very much in the tournament. So, we'll see. Blue League's a lot closer than the Gold League. So, good stuff. We'll continue on Wednesday in Dynamite. But, again, solid as far as the Blue League of the Continental Classic. Good stuff. Winner is coming on Wednesday. We'll see the Von Erichs. Good stuff ahead of the Iron Claw. See more of the Gold League. Jay White versus Mark Briscoe. Jay Lethal versus... Actually, Moxley versus Swerve. Lethal versus Rouge. That should be fun. Samoa Joe we'll hear from, so good stuff. But, anyways, guys, wanted to get a little shorter than usual video up for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. Smash that like button if you did. Also, that subscribe button and wherever you can find it. But thank you all. See you guys next time for Dynamite and Collision. So, thank you all. See you all. Peace.